We were sitting around yesterday at Easter, and somebody had told us that at hotels and motels now, they put mirrors up behind the registration desk and when they're checking out, because people, when they see themselves, they don't argue with the people behind it, because when they see themselves argue, people automatically stop like that. So I was thinking about that, and that's where I came to my thought of what I was going to be talking today, and especially since my son is in from Chicago to visit me. So it's usually my favorite theme to talk about. But you know, I was thinking about how our kids, have it be my son or your children, everything, are actually mirrors, and what they watch us. And what we do, they mimic us. Are we good parents? Are we good providers? Do we work hard? All the positive things and negative things. And so, brings me to myself writing my book about myself growing up. And I just wanted to read a little bit of the dedication that I had. And it goes like this, just a bit of bits and pieces. As I grow older, the more I realize that my father and grandfather installed something called work ethic inside me for the last 46 years. I remember when I was 12 years old and I started working, washing pans, and I'd go downstairs and wash pans. And it wasn't like one or two stacks of 50 pans. It was like when the trucks came in, we'd be washing 200-300 pans in each stack, and it was 8-10 hours a day. Back then, back in the 60s, you know, we'd be doing them by hand. There was no machines. And we took a break, and there was a lady that I was working with, and she pulled out a piece of chicken, and we split the chicken because I was just so hungry. We'd sit on milk crates right by the washing area. And when it was done, she said, well, you have another 10-15 minutes. Go take a break and sit down on the flour. Well, absolutely, when I sat down, there's when my dad finally came around and he saw me and he said, hey, what are you doing on those flour? I said, well, I have 15 minutes left in my break. I'm just gonna relax a little bit. He says, no, you go back to work. He says, because people watch you, because you're my son, they're watching you, how you take your break, how you work, and you go back to work right now. Well, I wasn't that pleased, but you know, I learned down the road how it was. Anyway, so throughout my married life and my career at the Fingerette Bakery, I worked a lot of hours. I went to work before it was light out, came back to home when it was dark out, and came home dirty, full of fudge and flour and all of that. And you know, I never complained about it. I talked about it with my wife, and my son saw me doing that. But it's funny that some years later, I think I've told this to people before, Adam called me on the phone, and he had a tough day. Tough day in IT sales, you know, not in the bakery, you know. And I was explaining to him how, you know, you have your good days and your bad days. And he said, Dad, my boss came up to me today and asked me where I get my work ethic from. And he told him it was his dad. And I was pretty proud of that. As a matter of fact, I get choked up sometimes, but you know, after you hear stories here, I don't have the right to get choked up about something like that. So I was pretty proud of him for telling him that. And he himself has followed in my footsteps, not in the bakery industry, but in a different industry. But he proved to me by watching me when I was a dad to him, and he worked harder at sports and his baseball and his hockey. He did his homework just religiously before he went to school the next day, and also in his life. So it really makes me happy that, you know, the 18 or 20 years he did spend with me, he saw me, and though I made mistakes, the work ethic was there. And I just ask you all, and what I try to instill in the people in the bakery is, work hard, work. You don't have to bust your ass and break a sweat every day, but just work hard and give an honest day's work for an honest day's dollar. And that's what we have to give to our children afterwards. I thank you very much.
Really?